Very few people know what I do, and when they find out, they can't believe it. We manufacture small arms, destructive devices, automatic weapons, but we don't do nukes.
If you were to have to kill one person to save 10, what's the choice there?
So we haven't yet sold any of these, they're prototypes.
Those are prototypes.
What countries would go for that?
Just about any of them.
Van Buren, a small town in the southern state of Arkansas. Guns are a big part of everyday life here. Half the population own one. You'd maybe not expect to find international arms dealers in a place that feels so cut off from the world. But this company's used to keeping a low profile. We've been back and forth for months, actually, in terms of access, what we can film, what we can't film. It's such a secretive world. I don't think many of us know how they operate. So to be able to show that would be really eye-opening, but we're gonna have to play it by ear this week. This is them. How are you, Gretchen? Oh, how's things?
It's going good.
Good. Hello, nice to see you. I'm Stacey.
Hey.
How'd you do?
Not bad.
Are you two? You're related.
Mom.
That's your mum.
Mom's manager and office mate.
I'm excited to be here.
Us too. We're a little nervous for you.
No, what are you nervous about?
We're the big bad guy, is people with guns.
You're the bad guys.
Yeah, we're people with guns.
Can I come in? Can I have a look around?
Yes, come on.
Thank you. This company is called Thor. At first glance, it looks like a local gun shop with a shooting range. But to find out the international reach of this company, you have to go behind closed doors. Cool. So this is your office?
Yes.
This is where the magic happens, daily.
What do you do, Gretchen?
I am the Director of Business Operations for Thor. I run all the international military, government. There's no other job like this one. I mean, I deal with people all over the world, and it's weapons. If you were to call me and tell me that you want a container of AKs, that's not a big deal for me.
AK-47, right?
That's not a problem. It's a shipping container, 40 foot long, and you're wanting AKs, the AK-47.
AK-47 rifles are just the start for Gretchen. She shows me a website where she bids for contracts to sell all kinds of weaponry.
I'll just look and see what it is they're needing, and we'll go from there. And usually, M203 grenade launchers. I got a whole room down there full of them. Advanced sniper rifle. Hello, sweetheart.
You believe in what you do?
Yes. I mean, as an American, we are born and grow up being taught about our guns. I can't even imagine living in a place that I didn't have the right to strap a gun on and not be a victim. And it's different here than it is anywhere else in any other part of the world.
So would you feel frightened, vulnerable, if you were living in London, in the UK?
I won't go to London. I won't go to London. Not right now. It's too dangerous. You guys have a real problem with terrorist attacks. Rapes are very high. Stabbings. It's a crime wave going.
We're just opposite ends of the spectrum, right?
Yes.
Like,
Yes.
you love guns, you respect guns, you love weapons. I'm frightened of guns. I feel really uneasy and awkward around guns.
Do you know why? It's because you're not familiar and trained with the tool.
Maybe.
Why you're here. We're going to take that opportunity to teach you what it's like to be in our world. You're going to go through the same training classes we put our kids through. We're going to teach you right along our children. My daughter will be stepping up from her rifle to the 5.56 NATO. So she's going to be standing right there taking the same class as you are. She's 10.
She's how old?
10.
10. So Gretchen, talk me through the plan.
Plan's going to be that these guys are fixing to learn proper shooting on a 9mm. You're gonna learn with them. If the time period were to come, you had to drop camera and pick up a weapon, you'll know what to do with it.
You think you can teach me in a week?
I'm not. My instructor will.
Andrew. This is where you come in, Andrew. I don't rely on shooting guns to stay safe in my job, but I feel that to be welcomed into this world, I need to join in.
Now we're just going to be shooting at the boards. We're not going to be shooting at any targets, okay?
Okay.
Richie is 8 years old and the son of the CEO of the company.
Yeah.
How was that?
Awesome. I like the gun. It has safety and a suppressor.
A suppressor? Why do you think it's important to shoot a gun?
You're actually in the military. You can learn how to shoot a gun and you can shoot a gun there.
So in case you want to join the military, do you think you'd like to do that?
I want to be a sniper when I grow up.
Tell me?
I want to be a sniper when I grow up.
You want to be a sniper? Wow.
And I had to shoot some sniper rifles.
You do?
I shot one before, just one.
All you got to do is this little selector.
Yep.
Whenever you pop that down, that's going to be ready to fire. Don't do that until I ask you to. When you take it, just be sure to keep your finger right here.
Okay.
Okay? Hold the gun up and just lean in. Just like that right there.
Oh my God, I'm so weak.
Remember, lean forward.
Am I hitting the wall? Gretchen, did you watch me?
Huh?
Were you not watching?
I watched everything you did. We're gonna correct your stance.
My stance.
But you are holding the gun. You're firing it. You didn't drop it. You didn't shoot my instructor.
I didn't shoot Andrew, which is a bonus.
Yes.
So we haven't yet sold any of these. They're prototypes.
Those are prototypes.
What countries would go for that?
Just about any of them.
Oh, really? We need to head back. Gretchen's expecting a call from her rep in India. Behind all the headlines we read of war and destruction, there are always guns. And guns mean business.
There you go.
Yep, you will know that people are interested with what's happening between India and Pakistan in the Kashmir region. Do you worry that civilians will be killed?
The government of India this time wants to go and focus on buying precision rifles, which helps them eliminate as much of civilian casualties as possible.
How much money do they like to spend? Give us a ballpark figure.
The recent contracts by the Indian government that have been awarded worldwide is around $2 billion.
$2 billion?
Yes. They have to upgrade their
That's only
weaponry.
Oh, wow. So they're serious customers.
Yes.
High priority.
India is a very, very evolving customer.
But do you worry that sometimes, you know, these guns will fall into the wrong hands?
That has been a concern till some time. We've now moved on to an age of face recognition, right? So now today your smartphone understands you.
So you're saying a gun could recognize your face?
It should be able to recognize and it should be able to recognize your fingerprints in order to actually operate.
That is remarkable. I didn't realize that that was something that was even being tested.
It's prototype.
Wow. Thank you so much for your time. Really appreciate it. Facial recognition.
There are things that are being required on certain militaries that we're working on. If I've lost even a platoon, and the terrorist group picks up those weapons, I cannot control the fact that we just lost military. I want to build them a better weapon.
Thank you.
Oh, you ready?
That was a busy day.
Oh, yes it was.
It's becoming clear to me that Gretchen's motivation for doing this job goes beyond money. And while the company pay her a decent salary, she is a million miles away from the Hollywood stereotype. And you think of international arms dealers, you think blacked out windows.
Oh, goodness, no.
Big Mercs.
No, it's a pickup truck, four-wheel drive with a big old Donald Trump for president sticker.
Are you working tomorrow?
Always. I work 7 days a week.
You do?
If it's noon here, it'll be midnight there, but it's not uncommon for them to call me at midnight here because it's daytime for them. So I answer the phone when they call. I answer emails when they send them an email. It's militaries and governments. Things can change in a heartbeat.
Gretchen, your life is completely crazy. Like, we're sat in your truck, bringing your 10-year-old daughter for something to eat, and then you'll be on the phone probably at midnight tonight talking to customers around the world who want to buy firearms. Did you ever imagine that you would be in this position?
No. Most people don't know what I do. They just know me as Peyton and Dawson and Briar's mom.
Who knows that you're a weapons dealer?
Those that are close to me. So my best friends know, my family, but even to the extent they don't have any idea. So, I mean, that's just the major rule. Always has been. You're going to hear and see things in the building. You don't take it home. It stays here. So.
If the walls could talk.
Yeah. If those walls could talk, you would hear all kinds of military deals going on. But we just don't discuss it. We leave it there. Oh.
This is your nan. Hello, Madeline. I'm Stacey. How'd you do?
I'm doing fine.
Nice to see you.
Nice to see
Gretchen's parents are joining us for dinner. I've been told to get the chicken strips.
Oh, now you're from England,
Or the
right?
steak. Yes, I am, yeah.
I can tell you're different.
Yeah. Have you been to England?
No.
No? Both Gretchen's parents are retired police officers. Her mother, Madeline, was one of the first women police officers in Arkansas. What are these?
It's called hush puppies.
Hush puppy.
They are battered and deep fried.
Great.
Amazing.
It's a food source all of its own. Have you not noticed this common pattern in the South of it's fried, and then it's double fried, and then we batter it and fry it?
I'm going to roll back to England.
Loaded with sugar.
So how did you feel when Gretchen started working? You hadn't worked in a while, right? So you were
I
desperate
actually
to get
hadn't had a job outside the house in 22 years.
Kind of need to make a living, so I was kind of glad she had a job.
Yeah. How much do you know about what she does for a living?
Just what she says. She talks about it all the time, and usually it goes in one ear right out the other.
Until I say the word, I'm leaving to go on a flight.
Oh,
I have to go.
When she goes on trips, I hate that.
What don't you like about it?
The foreigners.
The foreigners.
That's first. The foreigners, I don't know who they are.
She can't get to me.
And she's way over there. She can't make a phone call.
What do you think the foreigners might do?
I don't know, because I don't know who they are. I haven't been around them. So I can't tell you.
You wouldn't do well being my mother. I'm never at home.
She flies all over. She's been in Iraq. She's actually been on the war zone with ISIS shooting at her.
You insane?
And she doesn't know how to shoot a gun. If you were her daughter, you probably wouldn't be doing that.
I'd be locked in the house, wouldn't I?
Yeah.
Or the family would be traveling with you. And guns would be gone.
Some people will think you sound completely paranoid.
She wasn't as bad until 9/11 happened without him.
Oh,
She
yeah,
got
that was a
worse.
hard one.
Tell me about that.
Then it was 9/11, and we watched the airplanes flying into the buildings.
And then the next thought was, Jesus, Alan's on the plane.
This is your brother, your son. Was there a moment, Gretchen, because you seemed very emotional, that you thought you'd lost your brother?
I didn't know where he was. And that was the biggest key, is not knowing. That's where it kicks in, is because you don't know where they are.
The odds of him in the plane were so small.
Yeah,
Somebody's
but we
got to
didn't
be
know
out.
how many were taken. We didn't know anything because our government didn't know, our news didn't know. This completely blindsided us.
So these things, Gretchen, that have happened in the past, these tragedies, do you think that they've shaped you and that's the reason that you're so adamant you need to protect yourself and protect your own?
Yes. I'm frightened to not be able to defend the people I love against those that I know would kill them.
Have you got a gun now?
Absolutely.
Where is it?
Yeah, it's right there. I pray for the best, I'm prepared for the worst. I don't want to kill somebody. I don't want to. I don't want to see some poor mama having to bury her baby. Are you kidding?
But on the other
You
hand,
think I'm not going to weep?
It's a complex issue.
Correct.
The gun's sole purpose is to kill and destroy.
No,
To protect, you're going to say.
it is absolute sheer defense. I want militaries to have quality weapons. And I want those militaries to be able to defend people like you. That's literally what we do in international.
The time where you have really made me stood back and think is when you've said, Stacey, when you're out at work, you're on the front line or whatever, you're totally relying on the people surrounding you to keep you alive.
The good guys with guns?
I totally accept that. You're completely right. And I'm a bit of a hypocrite because I say I'm not massively into guns, but I do feel safer when I'm with people who have guns. Today, I get to go beyond Gretchen's office. She wants to show me the true scale of their operation. So this is part of the warehouse?
This is actually where we'll come in and we'll take our breaks. Or if we've got a lot of paperwork, we'll scatter across the table. This is our tech board. It's the map that we keep up with what's going on.
And you sell to north of 100 countries?
Yeah, it's over 100 countries.
That's over half the world.
Yes, but you'll notice there's a lot of red too. So those are countries absolutely cannot sell into.
So Venezuela,
Central Republic.
DRC, certain areas in Africa,
Yes.
Iran, Afghanistan.
I do put yellows where I have the cautions. And then usually with whites and the clears, that's pretty much that, we have already exported there. We're not having any issues. Blue is I have a factory or a factory coming.
15, 16 factories.
Yeah, 16 factories or shops that are opening up. Saudi Arabia would be nice to move into this year.
There are so many NGOs, human rights organisations that are saying we should not be selling, nobody should be selling to Saudi Arabia. Their issue is they think they're irresponsible, they behave in an unethical way. Some of the weapons, American weapons that have been sold to Saudi, end up in places like Yemen, where there's total devastation. Civilians are being killed, children are starving to death.
Yeah, I have a terrorist faction in Yemen. Without those weapons, you're going to have factions like ISIS just moving right on in.
When you see the images on the news, I know that you pay close attention.
I do.
How does it make you feel, Gretchen, you, not as an arms dealer, not as a professional, you?
Saudi is actually one of our allies. And for that area, it's a stable ally for us. You're not going to control what a government does. I don't have the right to turn around and tell, you can't do that. That's not my place.
And when I hear Trump talking, he says, these beautiful American weapons, like he wants to support you guys.
Yes, they are making things easier for us in the massive amount of paperwork. It is nice to have someone in office that's not hating the fact that we deal in weapons.
Will you be going to Saudi?
Possibly.
How do you feel about that?
It's going to be completely different. Saudi, their rules upon women are very strict. And I am not one of those that is going to handle that type of environment well.
I cannot imagine you in Saudi Arabia, Gretchen,
No.
I've got to be honest.
No, I am an American woman who deals in arms. I smoke, I drink, I am an American. So remember,
You saying that you had this conversation
with our rep.
With a rep in Saudi, and you said, look, I'm not willing to cover my hair.
I can't cover my hair, no.
And they said, don't worry about it, you don't have to do that.
Don't have to do that.
That's unheard of.
It's unheard of.
That suggests to me that you are very precious to them. You're very important.
Yes, it is important that we can bring in that line. So if they want the line, I come with it.
It's rare for a woman to operate at this level in the male-dominated arms industry, especially a former housewife with no military background. I suppose what's most surprising when you spend time here is how enormous these guys are. I mean, they're all over the world. And I think it can be quite deceiving. You come here and you see a relatively small factory and a couple of people sort of working in the office, whatever. They've got reps everywhere. And we're sat in Arkansas. It's just... It's very surreal, the whole thing. A new day takes us away from the office. Gretchen's son Peyton is visiting one of their manufacturing partners. Is it important that the location is kept fairly quiet?
As fairly quiet as we can keep it. We've had to pull a lot of strings and I'll cut through a lot of red tape to be able to get you guys in there today. We work in a world where we do create weapons. If they were to nab me and I wouldn't give them any information and then they were to grab my wife or my sister or my children, I would sing like a bird. Okay, so this is as far as I've gotten. Now I gotta figure out where I'm actually at.
Don't worry.
I've only been here twice and it's been dark. This is him.
The factory owner, Wade, has been waiting for us.
How are you, Wade? I'm Stacey.
When Thor gets an order, they contact their partner factories like this one to produce the weapons to their specific requirements.
This is how it starts its life. This is what we call the receiver flat.
Receiver flat.
That means it has all the characteristics of the receiver in a flat. And the first thing we do to it is we do the markings on it. This is set up for a serial number, because we don't want to overstamp it and cause it to mismark. Once you stamp it, you relieve the pressure back up, pull it back out.
Right, so what do these stand for? What do these mean?
That's a serial number.
That's the serial number for this gun?
Exactly, and this would be the model number.
Right. So we hear people reference serial numbers all of the time.
Right, that is what that is.
So am I right in thinking that one of the reasons that a serial number exists is to follow the gun throughout its entire life?
It's for traceability. Let's just say
If it ever turns out that a weapon with the serial number from one of their factories had been used to commit a crime, Thor would stop future supply to that client.
over here to our 50-ton press.
The next step is folding the metal to create a barrel. Okay. And so now instantly it starts to resemble a gun.
Exactly. And now, according to our U.S. law, that is now a gun. Now it has to enter into our log books and it's considered a firearm.
Making a gun is really labour intensive. This factory needs 2 weeks to produce 30 rifles.
Oh, I see.
Finally, this weapon is nearly ready.
Who would use this rifle?
This platform of weapon is the most popular law enforcement military weapon in the world.
And the last step is testing it.
So you'll shoot every gun that you make in this factory 40 times before you package it?
That is correct.
And is that required by law, or is that something you just like to do?
That's just our internal policy. If it's being put in a position where your life depends on it, you want to know that it is working the way it's intended to work. And we'll wipe it all down. We want to take off fingerprints.
The $100 billion a year arms trade is bringing good business opportunities Wade's way.
We're hoping that as things gear up and wind up, that would allow us to hire more staff so we could keep up with the quantities and the orders.
I was talking to one of their reps, one of their foreign reps overseas, and they were spending billions on rifles.
Yep.
Billions.
Yeah. But you know, if you figure, it doesn't take long to add up if you're talking $1,500 or $2,000 per firearm, and you're outfitting an army, it gets expensive very fast.
Wade wants to pitch his latest innovation to Peyton.
Okay. So you get the same kind of dynamic as an SD, but compact. Nice.
He's found a way of reducing the size of this rifle.
So what do you reckon? Do you feel like your customers might like something like this?
There's not anything like that out there.
America is the biggest exporter of arms and leads the world when it comes to selling increasingly sophisticated weapons. On the way back, I get a real insight into the poverty in this part of Arkansas. Over the last few years, factories have closed and hundreds of jobs have been lost.
This is one of our many pawn shops that we have in the area.
Can you pawn guns?
Yes, you can. You can pawn anything in pawn shops.
Have you ever had to pawn a gun?
I've gotten very close a few times. I've never actually been in the situation where I've had to, but I know Gretchen has many a time. My dad decided to have a midlife crisis and walked out the door. That was 4 years ago, 5 years ago now. That first year and a half was extremely hard for her because no one would give a housewife who has 25 years of not being at work a shot.
I suppose lots of people watching this will think, I don't know how they make a living doing what they do. I sort of fundamentally disagree with it. I've always accepted that it's a luxury to be in a position to be able to have a set of morals. Like, if you've got to work, you've got to work.
But these arms dealers do seem to have their own moral code, even if it's one that's alien to me.
But are there moments where you think, am I contributing to war? Am I contributing to death?
There's not moments where I think I'm contributing to war and contributing to death. I know I am. But the only thing evil needs to thrive is for good men to do nothing. My goal in life, give the good men better arms than the evil.
With each passing day, I feel I'm getting deeper inside the company. This morning, Peyton's going to show me how they make hundreds of thousands of bullets here on site to sell around the world.
This is gunpowder.
This is smokeless powder, yes.
Smokeless powder. This is obviously one of the key ingredients.
It's what makes the bullet a bullet.
Oh, really? Right. Are these the actual bullets?
That's the actual cases.
Are they the three main components?
That's more or less all there is to it. The case, the powder, projectile.
Do you think about who these bullets could kill, though? Do you think about the lives that could be lost?
I do. I do a lot.
You do a lot?
I do a lot.
Really?
I think of the people that they could kill and the damage that they could do to those people.
And how does that make you feel when you think about that?
My ammunition, while one round might be astray and hurt someone innocent, the first 10,000 put out the bad guys, which saved so many more lives. It's not easy. The water is always murky.
I think that's why it's so grey. And I think that's why I have, personally, such a complicated relationship with guns and weapons and ammunition, because I know what war looks like and I know how devastating it is. And also, I think about if there was another terrorist attack in London and there was a lad going about, killing dozens of people, would I want an armed police officer to shoot him and stop him? Of course I would.
War creates business for arms dealers, but it is a legitimate business and strictly regulated. I'm taken to the most heavily guarded room in the building.
I've had my eye on this safe since I got here.
Yes, it would be a big deal because very few people are actually allowed in here, and you'll note that it's under cameras at all times.
Right.
This actually holds this year's paperwork.
I suppose what's quite telling is you've got thousands and thousands and thousands of weapons sat outside of the safe.
Yeah.
And you deem the paperwork
is
more
important.
precious, more
Yes.
important.
Yes.
We are absolutely by the books. The rules are followed. It is a massive amount of detailed paperwork.
And if your paperwork isn't in order,
we can lose our license. We can go to jail.
You could personally go to jail?
Yes, it's a federal offense.
For how long?
Could be 10 years per weapon in a federal penitentiary.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, this is serious.
Don't make any mistakes with your paperwork, Gretch.
No.
You'll be sat in prison.
No.
As you have heard the Prime Minister tonight, now classified...
The next day, we wake up to the horrific news that 49 people have been killed in a mass shooting at mosques in New Zealand.
What I can say is that it is clear that this is one of New Zealand's darkest days.
Earlier this week, I remember Gretchen and Peyton were getting an order ready to send to New Zealand.
How are you, Gretchen? All right?
I'm all right. How are you today?
All right. Have you heard about the New Zealand attack?
Yeah, that's what I'm going through right now.
Isn't it heartbreaking?
It is. It looks like he traveled from Australia to New Zealand to commit the shooting.
I was reading that the gun laws in New Zealand are quite relaxed.
But they're allowed to actually own fully automatic weapons.
They can own as many as they like.
Mm-hmm. From the age of 16. I was shocked.
49 people are dead.
Mm-hmm.
You have been getting a package ready to send to New Zealand.
That is correct. Something tells me that while we're still going to go ahead and get the order ready to go, it won't leave the facility until we've checked.
That'll depend on New Zealand. They can change laws before they come in, and I'll have to stop, because if I don't, then the weaponry itself will be seized by customs there.
This order is heading for a gun shop. A gun shop is where the mass shooter bought his weapons.
From what we understand so far, this guy in New Zealand, he wasn't on any lists, any watch lists. There was no reason to think that he was going to behave in this way. He might have bought a gun legally and shot 49 people. So what I'm saying to you is, these guns aren't going to the military, they aren't going to the police, they aren't going to the good guys. They're going to random civilians. They're going to a gun dealer who will then sell to random civilians who don't need to let New Zealand know how many weapons they've got.
I don't blame all people who drive cars because of the drunk driver. It's the same thing. You will find that one nut job no matter what you do. They are in every business, everywhere, only we sell things that could cause massacres. But the difference is just like cars. I mean, you guys recently had one going through London that was running people over in their car.
We did.
But not everyone had to turn in their cars and wasn't allowed to drive anymore.
I suppose with that comparison, the sole purpose of a car, the reason a car was invented, is for transportation.
The sole reason a gun was invented was to protect.
That's where
we seem to have that difference.
So you're going to box it up, the ammo will be in there, and then just wait to hear whether or not you can send it.
Wait to hear it.
The order will stay packed up and ready to ship, depending on the decision of the New Zealand government. That decision came quickly. The government was changing its gun laws. The order couldn't be sent.
It goes with the international job. Political climates change all the time. They're going to end up restricting access probably for import and export for a while. We can pretty well tell from here it's just need to be put back on the shelf.
That's a direct result of what's happening tonight.
Most mass shootings are carried out by people who got hold of their weapon legally. I just wish it hadn't been so easy for that man in New Zealand, so full of hate, to get hold of weapons. Since I got here, I keep hearing about the famous Thor M408, a $25,000 military sniper rifle. It's one of the best in the world and the pride of the company. Gretchen doesn't want me to go home without having a go at shooting it.
Gretchen, here she is.
She's brought in an expert long-range shooter to help. Only a handful of very experienced people know how to use this rifle.
So Jimmy, you're the man who knows how to handle the Thor.
I can shoot a rifle, yes.
Okay. And I'm going to be able to watch you in action later on.
Yes, ma'am.
Fantastic.
You're going to shoot it too?
Do you think that's possible?
Absolutely. Women are actually better shooters than men at the beginning.
Oh, really?
Because they actually listen to the guy. Men have an ego problem and think they know everything.
I can assure you I know absolutely nothing about Thor or how to shoot.
Can you do that? Perfect.
Ah, she's got it. I've got it in the bag.
Perfect. The 408's a very large caliber, and it has a lot of power.
Mm-hmm.
So what we're going to do is we're going to start with a 22 long rifle shell.
Okay.
Very small caliber, little to no kick, very quiet.
Oh, I like that. I think it's the kick that frightens me.
Yeah. So we'll start with a smaller rifle.
Yep.
And that'll be your progression, and then we'll come over and we'll shoot the Thor 408 Pandora.
Sounds good.
Gretchen's pet name for the Thor is Pandora. That's because shooting it is like unleashing a box of destruction. Its massive bullet is able to penetrate through metal. Jimmy has set up a target just 100 meters away, a short distance for a sniper.
What I recommend you do is you take a normal breath, and I almost let it all the way out.
Okay.
What's really, really important is that every time you pull the trigger, it's the same. Your trigger squeeze is the same, your breathing the same.
Okay.
When you get really into it, even your heartbeat, you can feel your heartbeat, you'll want to pull the trigger between your heartbeats.
Perfect. I'm trying to hit something that's perfectly still.
Yep.
Can you imagine trying to hit something that's walking and moving and up and down?
In a car.
Yeah, my God. Yeah. Perfect.
When you're ready, you're going to put your finger on the trigger and you're going to say, "Shooter's ready."
Okay. Okay, shooter's ready.
Send it. Hit.
Yes!
You see that one?
Where was it?
It was in the exact same spot as your first one.
Stop it, really?
It's a little bit bigger now, but yep, it's the exact same spot.
Fantastic.
Look at you.
Oh my God, I'm a genius.
You want to go back to Afghanistan, don't you?
Listen, I feel like I'm doing the country a disservice by not serving.
Jimmy thinks that I'm now ready to open the Pandora's box.
So Jimmy's given me the thumbs up. I'm about to shoot the Thor for the first time ever. Okay. Will I tell you when, Jimmy?
To send such a huge bullet forward, the rifle needs to recoil back.
I need to just not panic or anticipate the gun coming back. Shooter's ready.
Okay, send it.
Fucking hell. Oh my God, that's so loud.
Hit.
Did I?
Yeah.
I'm shaking. I can't lie, it feels... You're full of adrenaline
Yes.
when you shoot, and then when you said hit, I was delighted. I thought, fuck yeah, I've done it.
Yes. That's the excitement from shooting.
This is my plate. I'm annoyed it's not in the middle.
That would go right through them. First thing it's going to do is hit their sternum. And that's going to shatter all of that. Then it's going to hit their spinal cord, which is going to instantly kill them. And it would blow a hole in the back of them, probably 4 to 6 inches around, and you could just look almost right through them. So even though it's not perfectly in the middle, it's definitely a kill shot.
If we were in a war zone and there was one guy that was going to potentially kill 20, 30 people, you're forced to make that decision, aren't you, for the greater good?
Yeah, that's true.
It's mad, isn't it? It's the maddest thought.
Yeah, and when you've been there, you understand.
It's time to try shooting the Thor at long distance. Jimmy set up a target for me nearly 700 meters away. That looks difficult enough. Incredible to think that the Thor can hit a target the size of a human chest at 3 times that distance. Shooting a sniper rifle is a highly precise science.
I've entered all of the specs of the rifle, and then we're gonna load the atmospheric pressure. This is gonna tell us exactly how we have to shoot.
Oh. I'm putting my finger on the trigger.
Okay, send it.
I can't see if it hit. The holes are too small for us to see through the scope. Jimmy shoots again to increase the chances of hitting the target. The only way to see if either of us hit is to go down and check the target.
They're your holes.
No. I honestly, I think at least one of those is yours, and the GoPro doesn't lie.
The first shot is Jimmy. To my amazement, that was mine. And then Jimmy again.
I never thought I'd get to try the Thor, the infamous Thor, Pandora.
The companies say they only sell the Thor to selected special forces around the world, and it's on course to become the first weapon to use face recognition technology. The idea of this weapon in the wrong hands is truly terrifying. It's Sunday and the end of my trip. Gretchen's brother Alan was due to take a plane on 9/11. Her fear of losing him was one of the drivers for her becoming an arms dealer.
What do you make of what your sister does for a living?
I think it's pretty good, as long as it's for good causes. I don't want to promote war.
Are you carrying now? That means yes. That means yes. Where is it? Is it a secret?
Yeah.
How many? Just one gun?
Yeah.
Peyton had 3 on the other day.
Oh yeah.
Felt a bit excessive to me. How many you got today, Gretch?
Just the one today.
I suppose it is Sunday.
So which guns did you like better that you shot?
Do you know, I prefer the one with the suppressor, Gretch.
MP5s.
I was no good on the AK. I
No
found
good.
it too wild. I had a go on Peyton's AK, which actually is the one that I should be familiar with if I take Gretchen's advice, because that's the most recognisable gun in the world. And when I travel, they're the ones I see.
Yeah.
What we doing?
We're going to make a wish that in the crazy positions you put yourself, that you stay safe, and may you learn enough about the weaponry while you're with me that if the time comes, you can save yourself.
Let me make a wish as well. Okay, happy?
Uh-huh.
You're gonna win. You're gonna win.
I'm gonna win. She's gonna stay safe. You really wanted me to win that one.